Hello friends, few of my students asked me to do a video on map because process is done, and then we have it's very easy to go for the graphs as well, but as far as maps are concerned, people find it very difficult. So it's a good question. Maps may bother you. Why? Because see, I'll tell you before we begin the video. 2 maps you should go through at least. Number 1, world map, the atlas. Number 2, Australia, because that is where you are going. So you should know at least the country where you are living. Okay. So Australia and the world map. If possible, the US. Because frequently these maps are asked. Okay. So you need to understand the questions, the answer, the states, the province, because you have the short forms of that. For example, NY would be New York, okay? Then TX would be Texas in US. So you need to do all these homework before you appear for the PTE exam. My name is Maulik, and I'm again back with the videos for PTE repeated questions. And here I'm talking about the describe images. So as I told, I've been asked to go for a map, and that too a difficult map. So that is a big challenge for me as well. So without a further ado, let us go for this. Here is the map. Yeah, it's pretty difficult, true. As I told you, this is a world atlas. Okay. And what I see is nothing. There's nothing. It's just red dots, and if I look closely, it's a city with at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 1 million. For all those Indians, 10 lakh is 1 million. Okay. Inhabitants in 2006. And that's it. No labeling, no any other information. So that's why I told you at least you should be able to identify the continents, the major areas, the major land masses of the world. So again, let me repeat, 3 maps rather, you should go through before appearing in the exam. US map, political of course, then Australian, and then atlas, the world map. These 3 are very important. Okay. Alternatively, what you can do is PT gets you a pen and a paper. So before you begin the section, what you can do is you can draw all the directions. That is north, east, west, and south, and subdirections. Those are northeast, southeast, northwest, and southwest. And you can hold that paper just by the screen in case you want to talk about the directions, southeast, southwest. In India, it has not been practiced, but in US, Australia, people frequently use it. For example, if you ask someone, where are you from? So he may say that I'm from southwest. Yeah, that's possible. In India, it's not been practiced. But this will help you to get good score in math. So friends, how do I go about it? So I see red dots. What I can see over here is the density. Some areas have more dots. Some areas have scattered or less dots. Some areas have no dots. They are the red dots. And friends, whenever you get stuck, you add fillers. Fillers are lifesavers. What are fillers? Fillers are the sentences that you and I speak daily. If you watch my previous videos, you'll have that clearer idea. For example, if I look closely to the image, I can say that apart from all this, it is quite evident from the image that it is quite visible on the picture that, so these are the fillers. These fillers, great. These fillers are really great. Why? Because they help you. They help you to continue your speech. You will not have any pause or hesitations. The biggest devils, pauses and hesitations of speaking. Okay. So these fillers will help you to continue your speech, and since those are very common sentences, you will not hesitate. You will have good pronunciation. That's what you need to do. So how do I go about it? Okay, I can speak, definitely. I can say like, okay, here I go. The given image is the atlas that shows all the countries in the world and their cities with at least 1 million inhabitants for the year of 2006. The cities with that criterion are marked with red dots. That said, it's clearly visible in this picture that all the red dots representing hundreds of cities across the world are scattered. If I look closely to the image, I can say that the density of those red dots is more in certain areas of the world. Now, that areas include India, Europe, North America, and the east side of Asia. Overall, I can conclude that Australia, New Zealand, and most of the upper part of the atlas or the world map have a very few cities with 1 million inhabitants because the red dots are very less over there. That's how you speak. Did you get the point? I was not getting into the detail because I don't know which country is where. So I talked about the continents. And since I have the label of city, I talked about cities. Neither states nor countries. Continent, because I was sure about them. Of course, I can identify Europe, Asia, and all. And cities, because red dots are cities. Inhabitants, because it's been mentioned over there. 2006, label. Fillers, if I look closely to the image, I can say that is how you do that. Hope it is all clear, right? So this is how you need to practice. So practice more and more. See, at times what happens is they'll give you Australia's map. Australia's map with legend. Legend means the information box, the information you get over here. For example, city with at least 1 million inhabitants. So that is an information. Sometimes you have a box, so you call that as a legend or box. There you have just 4 shades, and that too the same shade, orange, for example. So lightest, lighter, dark, and darkest. So start talking about it. As I see that most of the part of the country or the map is filled with dark orange, that is more dense. Even lighter is on the southwest side, and so on and so forth. This is how you need to approach. Okay, in certain cases, people ask me, my students ask me that, sir, what if I cannot make it up to 32 or 35 seconds because the information is very less. So in certain cases, it's okay if you speak for 25, 30 seconds. But in rare cases, when PT knows that because the information is very less. Okay, so your speech should be molded. Your speech should be adjusted according to the time allotted, according to the complexity of the image you get. Right? So I hope, friends, that this was clear. And as I always say, keep watching this space. I'll come up with more videos, and as somebody requested me this, you can also request me by simply putting a comment or commenting below this video. So get me URL, get me image, get me anything, and I'll try to cover it in next video. Thank you so much. Thank you.